Hi, my timer is set to 0 minutes and 0 seconds, and it will be counting up. I will begin the timer momentarily and begin. Thank you. Here's to the flapper, who's growing old at last. She's come to none of the predicted bad ends, but has gone where all good flappers go. Into marriage and boredom and convention. Who gives a damn about convention? Not me. The world isn't going to suffocate me. That's what this flapper's all about. Climb to the top and live high, and if the fine's a heavy one, well, what the hell? You take what you want when you want it. Oh, Jesus. Did I really believe that? 83, 82, 81, 80. Better known as Mrs. F. Scott Fitzgerald, Zelda Saray was wrongfully diagnosed with schizophrenia in the late 1920s. From 1930 to 1936, she suffered from untreated bipolar depression and intense mental breakdowns. She didn't just lose her time with the world, she lost her sense of self, who she was, and what it meant to be her. This is The Last Flapper by William Luce. I like diving and climbing in the tops of trees. When I was a girl, I liked jumping from high places. And I mean high places. I had complete confidence. I guess you could say, Doctor, that girl in the treetops was confident. Well, this has been one hell of a day, Doc. I think that word belongs in my file. Confident. Mrs. Fitzgerald! Mrs. Fitzgerald! 79, 78, 77. So, you must be the gentleman from the Courier-Journal. Won't you sit down? Scott, the man from the newspaper's here. Aren't you going to come help me be interviewed? Well, I've never been interviewed alone before, so it's going to be very formal. No? Good. Shoot. How do I prepare breakfast for my husband? Well, I ask the cook if there are any eggs. If so, I persuade her to poach 2 of them. Oh yes, I adore sports. I've recently taken up golf. I play it exactly like Louis XIV did. On a stomach full of wine, I wear high heels, and I cheat a lot. Oh yes, I love to write. You know, it's strange, but in my husband's latest novel, I recognized excerpts from a diary of mine that mysteriously disappeared after our marriage. Yes, it seems our Mr. Fitzgerald believes plagiarism begins at the home. 76, 75, 74. Oh, Doctor, I wish I were a child again climbing in those treetops. Tell me, aren't you afraid of growing old? Neither was I. I used to say to myself, Zelda, you'll be all right for another 5 years. You'll be pretty that long. Takes a good 50 years for time to batter down a woman's looks and crumple her charm. Well, I was wrong. Look at me. The glamorous Mrs. F. Scott Fitzgerald and her Elizabeth Arden face. Gone to pot. Now I know why Dr. Carroll removed all the mirrors. I've been physically and mentally ravaged by my resentments, but I can't even remember what they are. 73, 72, 71. Mama, what was I like when I was little? Zelda! All of my children were sweet babies. All of my children were good children. No, Mama, I don't want to hear about the others. What was I like? Zelda, you were exceptional. All of my babies were exceptional babies. Thank you, Mama. Exceptional. Did you hear that, Doctor? Exceptional. Let's put that down. Exceptional! No, Doctor. My head hurts. No, I know. Relax and continue to count backwards. All right. What comes after 55? I mean before. 4. That's it. 54. 53. 52. 51. 50. Zelda! No lady sits with her limbs crossed. We're genteel southern belles, and don't you forget it! No, Mama. The Southern belle was created by the Southern man as a stereotype to flatter his ego. When she says hello, she's told you everything she knows. An imminent martyr. Still there, Dr. Carroll? Taking down everything I say? You think you can put Humpty Dumpty back together again? Well, I've got news for you. 69, 68, 67. Well, why can't you hear me? I'm so confused. There's nothing kinetic inside me. No internal force. And I'm cold. So cold. And I forget where I am. Some hospital. Highland Hospital. That's it. Room 29. 28. 27. 26. 25. Am I dancing? You hated it. Why, Scott? You had Hemingway in his crowd, and yet you blamed me when you couldn't write, when you know the real reason was you were out half the night, drinking yourself unconscious. No! Let me finish! You whine about your lonely struggle against gifted and talented writers, and how I was only a third-rate writer and a third-rate ballet dancer. If that were true, then why the hell did you put your name on my short stories? Why did you steal my diaries and letters? He once told me that he married me because I had some sense of the seriousness in life. Now I see he was right. You see, Doctor, I believed in love. Now I guess that made me the stable person in the marriage. That should go in my file, Doctor. Stable. Mrs. Fitzgerald! Mrs. Fitzgerald! Mrs. Fitzgerald! Yes! Yes, 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 yes! Mrs. Fitzgerald, that's all I ever was. I never had an identity without Mr. Fitzgerald. Then after he abandoned me here, he became furious when I'd given my first novel to my editor, Max Perkins, without consulting him. Do you know what he told Max? He said, I'm going to edit her book. And then he tore the heart out of it. Because my life was his literary domain.
Go easy on the praise, Max. I'm not certain enough of Zelda's stability to encourage her incipient egomania.
Oh, Doctor. Why did I marry him anyway? Of course I married and loved the artist in him, but I should have loved the artist in myself. And he should have too. Artist. The irony of all of this is, I am his books. Francis, Scott, Fitzgerald. I pray for you, Scott. And my prayers are communion with what is right. And what is right, my dear Gouffo, is that you're dead and can no longer drive a steamroller over my pulverized ego. You should have been here today, Doctor. But don't worry, I brought you all up to date. Confident, exceptional, stable, artist. Somebody Thank you. And my timer is stopped at 9:57. Thank you so much.